Hey everyone, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. And today I'm here to do the bookish tag. I think the original video has been deleted, but I will double check that. If I find the original video, I will link it down below. With no further ado, let's begin. The first question is, how many books do you currently own? So I have just counted and it's actually interesting. I own 139 books, which is surprising. I didn't expect to have such a big number. But it's obviously not the biggest number because other people have like even more, but for me this is kind of a little bit a lot. But those are good books. This is what matters. Those are good books worth having, so that's good. Next question. How many books are you currently reading? I am currently reading just one book. This is like just my rule. I normally read just one book at a time. I just feel that it's just better to concentrate on one story at hand, and this way I just enjoy it more and I'm just completely absorbed by it. That's why I prefer to read one book at a time. Oh, and the book I'm currently reading is actually The Adventures of China Iron, and this is a book shortlisted for International Men's Book Prize 2020 this year. And this is a retelling of traditional Argentinian story, but like a feminist retelling. I haven't read the original story. To be honest, I have never even heard of it. But now I want to read that as well. But this is just a retelling. And in this story, we follow this girl. Her name is China Iron. She lived in this small community, smaller, like rural Argentinian community. She had a husband who was significantly older than her. She used to be like a servant to this couple, old couple, but because this old couple used like drinks, so they had like bet with her current husband and they lost the bet, and like basically she was his prize. So, and she became his wife, like obviously not willingly. She bore him like 2 children by the age of 14, so she married him even earlier. Like scary, like just unbelievable. But in this book she runs away from him and she meets this English lady, because the book is set is like in 180s. So this English lady who came also to Argentina to like find her land and also find her fortune in this country with her husband. And so she but her husband, I think, was enlisted in the army also in Argentina, and so now she's looking for him, and now both of them are traveling through like Argentina. China Iron, just because she found like a good friend and she wanted to join, and the English lady is looking for her husband. So it's actually very interesting, and it's very easy to read because chapters are so short. Choose a couple of books you read but didn't enjoy. I have not even a couple, I have a little bit more. So for example, the first book will be I apologize Eragon. I started reading it. In the beginning it was kind of interesting, but then it was not. So I DNF'd it. I was bored. Also, same goes for Serafina. I was bored. I was disappointed. 2 books by the same author, A Pinch of Magic and Unrest. Both of them, I think, just maybe writing style. I think just her writing style is just not my cup of tea. And one more book is like Our Castle by the Sea also. It started so good, but ended so badly. So I really didn't like the ending, and the ending ruined like the whole book for me. A cover buy. I have a lot of books which I buy not solely because of the cover. Cover matters to me because I want to have beautiful books on my shelf, but I always check the synopsis and see if I would really enjoy the story and if the story sounds like something I would like to read. So, but yeah, just some of the covers that I find very beautiful. For example, Pinch of Magic. Didn't like the book, but the cover is beautiful. One more book I really like the cover of is Memory Palace by Yoko Okawa. Beautiful cover. One more cover that I really like is Black Leopard Redwood. I think it's very beautiful. Next question, a book you own but hate the cover of. I have 3 books for this prompt. So the first one is The Thief Lord. I really loved the story. The book itself, like the story, is brilliant. It is so kind and heartwarming, and there is so much friendship and family inside. Really liked it. But the cover, honestly, I have no idea like who looked at this art and approved it. who would say that this is a beautiful piece of art? I don't know. Apparently the person was asleep or was too busy when he or she was approving this cover. I don't know. I feel like it's very ugly. Another book is actually China Iron. I really don't like this cover. Maybe I only like this bright green, but like this, like what is this? Like why is it here? I don't understand. I think this cover is actually very bad. And the last cover that I really don't like is Brighton Rock by Graham Greene. It's like this red spine editions. Actually, I didn't buy this. I bought a different edition, but Book Depository decided to send me this one. I don't know why. I bought beautiful edition from like Penguin edition. So, but they decided to send me this, which was very disappointing because again, like look at this. This is ugly. I don't know who looked at this and said like, yes, this is what people will want to have on their shelves. Like, look, this is so ugly. So, disappointments of life. A book you haven't read in years. So there is this book. It's called The Gadfly by Ethel Lillian Voynich. This writer, she is actually an English writer, but as far as I know, the book isn't really famous abroad. This book is very famous in Russia for a reason, because this book is about revolution. That's why it's very popular. It's very famous in Russia, especially like in the 20th century Russia. Like, why wouldn't it? So I read this when I was at school and I actually really liked it. It has romance element to it. It has revolution element to it. It has element like relationship between a father and a son. It was so good. I remember I really liked it. I cried in the end. I remember I was laying on my bed and just crying my eyes out. It was so sad in the end, but also kind of beautiful. So I wanted to read this book. As far as I remember, it was very good, and I'm just curious to see if it's going to live up to my like memories. Next question. A book you will always recommend. I feel like I will always recommend The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I really like that book. I think I prefer The Song of Achilles to Circe even. Really like that. Also, well, next book will come as no surprise to you because it's going to be Miracles of the Mia General Store. I feel like I will also always recommend this book because I just loved it so much. Dragon with a Chocolate Heart. Dragon with a Chocolate Heart as well. That book as well, I would always recommend. Next question. All-time favorite book series. So I am not a big series reader. I'm very bad with series. Like I haven't even finished Harry Potter series. It's my goal to finish Harry Potter series this year. So that's why I have to say Harry Potter series because it's like the only series that I have read. Not till the end yet, but like I'm getting there. So yeah, because I haven't read and I haven't finished any other series. I'm very bad with series. Next question is, where do you read? I read everywhere. Like now that I'm on quarantine, I read mostly at home. But if I go to work, I read on the train or I read in coffee shops. Mostly at home. What are the last 2 books you gave a 5-star rating and why? Okay, so the last book I have finished was The Enlightenment of Green Gage Tree by an Iranian author, Shukufeh Azar. This book was brilliant and I gave it 5 stars. It is also shortlisted for International Man Booker Prize 2020 and it deals with topics of revolution and families trying to save their lives and running away from Tehran to a small remote village where they hope that nobody will find them and they hope that they will be able to stay free. And it's just a story of a family and it was beautiful. And also it has so many like magical realism elements, and it was in the like second part of the book it reminded me of Kafka and Kafka's writing. It was like, wow, what's happening? But it's like in a beautiful way, in a beautiful sense. So Enlightenment of Green Gage Tree, I really loved it. And also one book that I gave 5 stars one of like last books that I've read is Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima, and I have already talked about this book a lot. It was brilliant. It deals with topics of single parenthood, like single motherhood, especially in Japan in 1970s, and all the struggles that the women were facing. So it was very interesting to read and I really enjoyed it. And that's it, all the questions, guys. So there you have it, Bookish Tag. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what were some of your books that you rated 5 stars, and how many books do you own? That's also interesting. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're staying safe and I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you soon in my next videos. Thank you, bye.